Genesis Communications presents the show that's helping people see better and feel better all over Florida. It's Ask the Doctor with board-certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, and popular radio host, Dr. Michael Lange of Lange Eye Care and Associates.
Doctor, my eyes, but can I see the sky? Is this the price for having learned how not to cry?
Okay, good morning, and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins, here to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision and eye care. So if you've got a question, pick up the phones and give me a call. I'm live in the studios today. It's sometime in the end of July 2017. I want to apologize. The last 2 weeks, I was out of town at conferences. I was actually racing at Sebring 1 week, and then the FOA conference in Orlando another week. So I had to run a couple of tapes. But I am live today. 1-866-977-4820. If you're new to the program, who's Dr. Lange? Well, I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I'm also a certified nutritional specialist. I founded Lange Eye Care and Associates back March 15th of 1993. Grew to 12 locations throughout Florida. We were scattered throughout Tampa, Clearwater, Gainesville, Ocala, the Villages, Inverness, Citrus Hills, Williston, Summerfield, University of Florida. We were all over. And then last year in April, I had an offer I could not refuse, and I sold all of the eye care centers except the Lange Eye Institute. So I hail from the Lange Eye Institute now only. The Lange Eye Institute is close to 30,000 square feet. We do everything from major eye care to routine eye care to major eye surgery to nutritional eye surgery to advanced contact lens fitting and glasses. So we do just about anything and everything when it comes to the eye. I'm going to give you the phone number for the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages. We have got a great group of doctors there. Myself, Dr. Jamie St. Martin, Dr. Yadi Exposito, Dr. Seaborn Hunt. He's an incredible cataract surgeon, a great board-certified ophthalmologist. And now Michael Tolentino. Dr. Tolentino is on board. He has space inside the Lange Eye Institute, downstairs with me and the rest of the gang. So Dr. Tolentino is Harvard trained. He's a retina specialist, nationally recognized. He has been involved in over 130 clinical studies. He is big into nutrition for macular degeneration. He is the guy that really kind of invented or in the forefront of the injections that all the retina specialists currently use that they inject in the eye. So he is now at the Lange Eye Institute, inside the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages. Okay, the phone number for the Lange Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. Also, I do want to mention, remember, we got a 40% off sale going on at the Lange Eye Institute. That's right, 40% off frames. So any of the frames in the building that are ophthalmic frames, 40% off at the Lange Eye Institute. It's worth the drive from Tampa or Gainesville to come take advantage of that. And then finally, before we take some calls, the summer special is still going on. This is the last week. A lot of you have taken advantage of it. We have sold pallets of the Fortify Super Protein and the Fortify Blue Green Superfood. Remember, this is in the Lange diet. This is one of the meals each day in the Lange diet plan if you're trying to lose weight, trying to gain muscle, anything like that, trying to improve your immune system, right? We want to build that immune system back up because glutathione is stimulated by taking a good whey protein concentrate from grass-fed New Zealand cows. So you're going to get the summer special. It's 30% off when you buy both the Fortify Super Protein, either the vanilla or chocolate, or the Fortify Organic Blue-Green Superfood. You take a scoop of each, put them in water, almond milk, or regular A2 cow's milk, shake it up and drink it down. That's a complete meal replacement, or in between meal snack. 30% off simply by using the code SUMMER. This is the last week, folks, the last week. So take advantage of it. 30% off is a great deal. You got to go to fortify.com or call Fortify Vitamins. Heck, I'll honor it at the Lange Institute. But the simplest way is to go to the section on fortify.com and put SUMMER in the promo section at checkout, and it automatically calculates 30% off. But you have to buy at least one of the proteins and the blue-green superfood. All right, now we're going to take some phones. I bet you Bob's number one today. Let's find out. Let me figure out how I can retrieve the people that are on hold here. My screen. I always mess things up here. I think, Bob, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, sir. You pushed the right button. I want to say first, happy birthday to your wife on Monday.
That's Monday. Thank God that you're around, Bob. The 31st of July. Hallelujah, you reminded me.
All right. Good. That's a quick save. Okay. How's the Viper doing?
The Viper is doing fantastic. I mean, I just raced, it was 2 weeks ago in Sebring. We had a great time. I set my personal record, 2 minutes and 27 seconds using street tires. And so I wasn't passed by anybody. I did quite well in 5 of those sessions. And so now, I'm really addicted. So I've ordered some special racing wheels with Michelin slicks. They will be in on Tuesday. And I went ahead and put a new exhaust system on, Ballinger headers. Lou Ballinger designed some headers for this car with a new cat-free exhaust system, putting out about another 70 horsepower. So I will be tracking again in Sebring, I think, 2 more weeks, and I want to cut 5-6 seconds off my lap time and be up there with all the top pros. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll keep my listeners posted.
There's got to be a limit there somewhere, Dr. Lange, doesn't there? I mean, fast is fast, but you got to be careful too, right? You don't want to get into the wall.
No. I stay away from the wall. That's what I like about Sebring. Sebring really only has a few walls going down the main straightaway. And I got to tell you, when you're hitting 160s, 170, 180 miles an hour, that's actually time to relax. You look down at your gauges, you take a deep breath. It's the time in these turns, these wide sweeping turns where you're hitting 130 miles an hour in some of these turns. You got to really be very careful. The straightaways where the walls are really the safest area.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. This morning, back to the reason for the phone call, I have a friend who fortunately is recovering from leukemia. And as a result of that process, of course, they kill everything in the bloodline, and then he had the transplant. His brother donated the transplant for him. But he's on the way back up the hill. But I talked with him yesterday, and the constant conversation is his T, as in Tom level.
T cells, right?
They got to build that back up, but everybody's saying, it just takes time. He's at a marker of 5 right now, with a top end of 200. So he's got some way to go. My call to you this morning, Dr. Lange, is there any way that you know of that he can increase that rate of T-cell development?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really is. And most cancer patients know that chemotherapy weakens their immune system, all right? And that actually puts them at risk for all sorts of things, viral, bacterial infections. So, they got to bounce back after this, but that, it's kind of a catch-22. They do that to kill off the cancer cells. I got to really research that a little bit more. I really do. I got to research that a little bit more. Now, I've got a lot of cancer patients, a lot of cancer survivors, and, I like for them to be juicing organically grown fruits and vegetables, getting on a good whey protein concentrate. To remember, I started the show off talking about stimulating your immune system by using covalent bonded cysteine, lactoferrin, things of this nature, CLA. All of that is in a whey protein concentrate. But remember, a whey protein concentrate has the good fat in it, so you have to make sure it comes from grass-fed, naturally raised cows. That's why I picked New Zealand. Otherwise, if you don't know where it comes from, if it comes from China, if it doesn't say where it comes, chances are it's coming from China. Remember, the fat is where all the bad stuff hangs out, the pesticides, the hormones, the steroids. And so if you don't know where it comes from, believe it or not, I recommend the isolate, not the concentrate. But if you know it comes from grass-fed cows, our Fortify Super Protein comes from A2 grass-fed cows all year round. So it does help stimulate your immune system through. This is a way to help. Now, if it's going to help T cells, I got to do a little research on that, and we can talk about that in a little more depth next week, because I should be live again next week.
Okay. Well, I will be anxiously waiting a phone call next week then, because he's a good friend.
Right. Well, certainly it does take time. I mean, it definitely takes time for these things to, regroup and build back up. And obviously he needs to follow his doctor's directions. But I would be on a organic, gluten-free, paleo type of diet, all right? And obviously he needs to be getting as much sleep as possible, hydrating with good spring water, and then taking some good supplements like the Fortify Super Protein, maybe the blue-green superfood. Eating for snacks, you're going to be careful. There's so many terrible snacks out there. Things like the Paleo Simplified bars, the Paleo Simplified Honey Nut Fruit Crunch, things like this. Just adjusting your lifestyle, getting some exercise, a little bit of sunshine, not a lot of sunshine, without sunscreen, 20 to 30 minutes a day between 10, 11 and 2. Remember, for the vitamin D3, because most of these patients are very vitamin D3 deficient as well, but you got to be careful. You can't get too much sun. So it's a whole host of things. It's a lifestyle adjustment that everybody should be starting and practicing, not just people that are trying to kickstart their immune system.
Right. Okay. Well, Dr. Lange, have yourself a wonderful week. Tell Tammy happy birthday, and Lord willing, we'll talk to you next week.
Will do, Bob. Take care of yourself, brother. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, good morning. You're welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doctor. Bob's been a caller. I don't know. Most of our listeners know for, 10, 15 years now. He's always first. Almost always first. A few months ago, he was second. All right, 1-866-977-4820. 1-866-977-4820. You can follow me on social media. If you go to drmichaellange.com, simply drmichaellange.com, DR, no period after it. And then there's section social media. You can join me and follow me on all the social medias. If you want to follow my early racing career, and also we give out a lot of codes, quick codes that last 1 or 2 days, giving you dramatic discounts on all the Fortify products and the Paleo Simplified products. You can now get Paleo Simplified, and I'm pretty sure Fortify now on Amazon. All right. Paleo Simplified bars and Honey Nut Crunch you can get on Amazon. Also, you can go to paleosimplified.com and use the code PALEO. And I think you got to buy $30 worth. So buy a box of the Paleo bars or 3 bags of the Crunch, and you get 20% off. So use Paleo as that code. And remember, the code's SUMMER to get the 30% off on the Fortify Super Protein and Blue Green Superfood. All right, enough of that. Let's go back to the phones. I don't know who is next. I think it's number 5. Okay. Steve in Bradenton, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I am hanging in there. It's going to be a great day.
Has that Viper got the turbocharge on it?
Nope, no turbocharge, no supercharger on the Vipers. Naturally aspirated. I'm pushing about right now 730 horsepower.
That's incredible. You can get that kind of horsepower with no turbo or superchargers, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and absolutely. We're going to be getting close to 900. If I still don't get the times I want, we're going to do a little head work and some cams and get close to 900 without supercharging, without turbocharging. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is. Every time you step up, you get a bigger rush,
Yep, it's an adrenaline rush, I got to tell you, and it's anti-aging, I wish the state troopers would understand that when I'm going that fast down the interstate. But I try to tell them, I'm releasing beta endorphins. And beta endorphins, you got to get to you got to do something that scares you just a little bit for the adrenaline to actually release these beta endorphins. Remember, beta endorphins are the natural feel-good hormones, natural antidepressants. So that's why I have a need for speed. That's why I did the whole motocross thing, twisting the throttle. And now, heck, at 55, it's time to, get on 4 wheels instead of 2 wheels.
Well, it sounds like the faster you go, the better it is.
Well, it's true. You feel better. You really do. I mean, that's my theory.
And the reason I was calling was, I think you remember my history with my eye, having within the last year and a half, I've had the macular pucker, detached retina, cataract, and I've had some lasering up for some leaking capillaries in the back. And I saw my doctor about 2 weeks ago and got the Avastin shot, and he said my eye was really looking good and it was really improving. But I've never really got that improvement in my vision. It's been blurry.
Right.
And now today, when I came outside, everything's real bright, almost like I'm dilated, although I'm not. Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, light sensitivity can be related to a whole host of things. I mean, light sensitivity can be related if your pupils are dilated, and obviously if you look in the mirror, you'll see if they're dilated. It can be related to mild inflammation. I mean, if you have a little bit of inflammation, and with your history, you've probably had some chronic inflammation going on in your eye. It can be related to a keratitis. That's inflamed cornea, so some dry spots, but you use your artificial tears and your lubricants. So there's a whole host of things that can cause you to be light sensitive. Certain medications, oral medications, can cause light sensitivity as well. If this is, a serious problem, it's really, you notice a lot more now than it was. You obviously need to talk with your eye doctors about that. Wear your sunglasses when you're out in the sun. That's crucial. The other thing is, because I think you've had cataract surgery too, if I recall, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you're taking the Fortify Focus right now.
Yes.
Good, because all patients after cataract surgery should be doing what I call triple carotenoid therapy, whether it's Fortify Focus, whether it's something called MacuHealth, or it's a product out there that actually has lutein, zeaxanthin isomers, astaxanthin, or mesozeaxanthin. These carotenoids are very good because they help filter the harmful UV and blue light. After cataract surgery, remember, God's human crystalline lens that was protecting your retina from the damaging blue light and UV light is gone because they removed the cataract, and now there's a clear implant in there that doesn't do a good job. It blocks the UV but doesn't block any of the blue light, and that's why it's important to wear the sunglasses, blue filtering lenses, and take Fortify Focus or something similar to that to get those carotenoids into your retina.
All righty. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
All right, Steve. You hang in there and keep me posted.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Have fun.
Bye-bye. All right. Phone number for the Lange Eye Institute if you want to see me. Remember, I am only at the Lange Eye Institute now, is 352-753-4014. 352-753-4014. We have people that come from all over the country. Actually, we had a couple that came from the Bahamas that listens to me on the radio show. A great couple. They actually made T-shirts for our entire staff with our names on it. So that was kind of cool. And they listen to this show right now in the Bahamas. So a shout out to everybody throughout the country and throughout the world that listens via the internet. You can actually watch me at newstalkflorida.com, newstalkflorida.com, so you can watch if you want to see. I'm wearing what am I wearing today? A nice white shirt, black undershirt, some sporty little shorts. I could be in a Hawaiian shirt. You don't know unless you actually tune in and watch, so I suggest that. All right. Phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. We had another Steve on the phone that was waiting. You can call back. I would take your call in just a second. Let's go back to the phones. Joe in Tampa Bay, good morning.
Hey, Dr. Lang, how you doing today?
All right, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. A couple weeks ago, I had a vitreous detachment, and I went to the VA. I live in Tampa, so you always said just it could be an emergency. So I went to the VA to get it checked out, and they said that's what it was. I shouldn't have to worry about that, correct?
No, posterior vitreal detachment, as long as they dilated your eyes and looked around. Remember, you start getting symptoms of these floaters and these flashing lights in your eyes, and you think it could be a retinal tear, retinal detachment, so you get into your optometrist or ophthalmologist, have your eyes dilated. They look and make sure that retina has not torn. And the vitreous, the gel in the eye, it pulls loose from the back of your retina, and it causes these symptoms that you have. So a posterior vitreal detachment or vitreal degeneration is really a relatively normal process of maturing or aging, and it's really nothing to be concerned about. Now, if you have a sudden shower of more floaters, it looks like pepper or paprika or more flashing lights, get back to the doctor, even if it's the day after you saw him, because after a vitreal detachment, you're at a little bit of a greater risk of having a retinal detachment during, about a 1 or 2 week period of time. So I usually recommend don't do anything overly strenuous, don't lift anything heavy, no kickboxing, no upside down inversion boots for, 10 days or so.
Oh, okay, it's already been almost 2 weeks.
You're fine.
And the thing is, by the time I saw the doctor, the lights were already gone. So I had one a couple years ago in the other eye, and it took a couple of months for the lights to go away. So
right, it all depends. Sometimes they go away, in a couple of days, and sometimes they can take months and months for them to go away. Every case is a little bit different. But the gist of that story, Joe, is just anytime you're in doubt, get in to see the doctor.
Okay, one other question. I have a hernia, and I'm trying to... I've been doing research on a diet to help a hernia heal.
Right.
And the research I've done says if collagen's really important. Is that correct?
Collagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell you, diet, the only thing, umbilical hernias, diet works very well for umbilical hernias. People need to lose weight, get all that tension off of that. But for things like inguinal hernias and all like that, I got to tell you, diet doesn't do much. It really doesn't.
Really?
A lot of times, if that's really becoming a problem, you got to see your general surgeon, and you got to have that fixed. Sometimes they cut it and they sew it back, or they put the little mesh in there. My dad, 89 years old, just had a inguinal hernia operation. He's doing pretty good. But you got to be careful because that can get entrapped in there and then cause some serious problems. So, you need to follow your doctor and your surgeon's advice on those hernias.
Okay, I've already lost 15 pounds, so got 15 more to go.
All right.
I have a question about your probiotics and your enzymes.
Mm-hmm.
As far as when to take, I've been taking one before bed at bedtime and two before breakfast of the probiotics. Is that possible?
Perfect? Yeah, they work better on an empty stomach. Absolutely.
And then your enzymes, it says take with cooked food. Is that very important?
Yeah, you take the enzymes. Ideally, you take them 5-10 minutes before you eat. You can take it with your food, but the enzymes, you want to be ready to help break down the food. The fats, the carbohydrates, the sugars, all of that. So the enzymes really help, especially if people get bloated and acid reflux and GERD and irritable bowel syndrome and things after eating foods. Then the enzymes really help these patients.
Oh, I've been taking one of those a day. Is that enough?
Yeah. I would take the enzyme with your biggest meal. Meal, and if you're symptom free, that's fine. But if you still have bloating and problems like that, then you can take one with each meal.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Lane. You have a great day.
Take care, man.
Bye.
All right, 866-977-4820. Now we're going back to Steve. Let's see. Steve in Clearwater, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I
was thinking a minute. Most sunglasses, just the cheap ones you buy at Walmart for $5, they don't block the blue very well, right?
You're absolutely
now,
right.
If you would go in the sun, your eyes would constrict. The pupils would constrict because you have a lot of bright light.
Right.
So you had no sunglasses on.
Right.
But when you put the less expensive sunglasses on, then your eyes would probably dilate just a little bit because the total amount of light of all wavelengths would allow them to open up just a little bit. Does that make sense?
You're absolutely correct.
So that would allow more blue light in than before you put the sunglasses on.
Yep, so cheap sunglasses do more harm to your eye than good. You're absolutely correct. I've talked about this for years. Yep.
Yeah, I just thought about that because and back in high school, I did an experiment with eyes. It's a long story. I'm not going to bore people with it. But I just happened to think of that last couple weeks ago. That what wavelengths of light cause the pupil to constrict? All of the wavelengths?
Yeah, it's the brightness. So certainly the UV waves, but the blue light also. So up to about 500. 500 or so. So it's the sun, the brightness that really does it. So you don't have to be in the sun. You can have just a bright light. It's going to cause the constriction of your pupil. And that's also God's way of helping to protect the lens and the retina when you go out in the sun, because your pupils constrict down, letting less of the harmful rays of light. So a good sunglass, spend some money. Just about the best non-prescription sunglass on the market now is Maui Jim. Maui Jim, all of their lenses now, as of 2 years ago, not only block the UV, they've always blocked the UV, but they all are using a monomer now that has the blue filtering, the same monomer that Blue Light Defense and Blue Light Shield uses to actually filter the blue light. So any Maui Jim sunglass, you can take a blue laser, it will not go through it. Most sunglasses on the market still do not block blue light. They only block the UV light. That's why I say you get a brown amber, or rose color if it's not a Maui Jim, because that's going to filter some of the blue light. Otherwise, just spend a little extra money and get the Maui Jim sunglasses.
I have one more quick question, and if you don't know this, don't be embarrassed, because you can't know everything. There seems to be a slight increase in melanomas about 1 year after the peak of the sunspot cycle, and that's an 11-year cycle. And if you go back, it takes a latency time for the cancers to appear in skin cancer. But every 11 years, you have this high amount of blue light. My question is, has there ever been an association with eye diseases with that sunspot cycle?
And I agree. I don't know that answer. I'm sure somebody has studied that, but I don't know that answer. But I do know this, that it is crucial to see your eye doctor. Remember, have your eyes dilated, because melanoma can hide in the eye. Oftentimes, melanoma is in the eye. Nobody knows it, and then it metastasizes to other parts of your body. Remember, the eye is bombarded on a daily basis, especially if you're outside. And now indoors with all this blue light, bombarded with blue light and UV light. So it's a way that you can develop melanoma in the eye. It can hide. We have a new machine at the Lange Eye Institute called the Anitas RHA. Really kind of cool, because it goes through different levels of the retina. It goes through all the different levels and looks for things that are hiding, like melanoma. So we've detected melanoma in the eye that we would not have seen without this technology. We refer them to an ocular oncologist, and then they hit it with radiation. Or, I hate to say, if it's late, they have to nucleate the eye, but that's better than dying. And so the key is early detection. So there's two reasons, if any, for getting an eye exam on an annual basis and having your eyes dilate: to check for glaucoma, because that's the sneak thief of your sight, and to look for melanoma. Those are two things you're going to be asymptomatic until it's too late.
Well, there's so many interesting things, and I think that we're learning so much now that it's just amazing. It's just unbelievable how you guys are taking everything by the horns and getting them. One thing I wanted to know is, does lycopene, like let's say I drink a lot of tomato juice, could that block the good carotenoids like beta carotene does? That's in the same class of beta carotene, and so it makes sense that it potentially could, but the only studies I've seen were beta carotene actually blocking. So I'm not sure about lycopene, but it makes sense because it is in the carotenoid class, not with beta carotene, but not in the xanthophil class with lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. So I've often wondered why nature took such a rare carotenoid, some of the much rarer than beta carotene and some of the others, and it gave such an important function to such a rare item. That's always strange to me.
We'll have to ask God one day.
Okay, I'll let you go. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, 866-977-4820. You're listening to Ask the Doctor, 866-977-4820. I got to hold this up in the front of the video right here. I'm holding up a thing of Super Crunch. It's called Paleo Simplified Honey Nut Fruit Crunch. This stuff is amazing, okay? It does not have any wheat, barley, rye, or oats in it, all right? So it's a type of granola that is got pumpkin seeds, non-GMO, obviously sunflower kernels, slivered almonds, banana chips, organic coconut oil, almond flour, okay, ground flaxseed, cinnamon, and kosher sea salt. So it's very good. It's a tasty treat. Paleo Simplified Super Crunch. A lot of health food stores are carrying it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on the Fortify website or certainly Paleo Simplified website. And then I'm holding up one of the Paleo Simplified Superfood Energy Bars. It's called Pecan Pie. Delicious. For those of you that work nonstop like me, you eat at 6 in the morning, and then you don't have lunch until 1. Sometimes your blood sugar starts to drop in the middle of the day. So you can have some of this. It's low glycemic index. So it gives you prolonged energy. All right, let's go back to the phones. I got to figure out who is next. Line 3. All right, we're getting ready to figure it out. I'm not sure who it is. All right, let's see. Line 3. Who is this?
Helen.
Hey, Helen. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. I had just a couple questions that are probably real quick for you to answer, but I just was listening, and I drink a low-sodium V8 juice every morning, and I eat at least 1 tomato a day. Is that too much? Should I be cutting back on that?
Nah, I think you're fine. I mean, I don't love V8 juice. I mean, the low-sodium one's good.
Low-sodium, huh?
Yeah, because a lot of the fruits and the vegetables that are in there are the what we call the dirty dozen, all right? And the dirty dozen is filled with pesticides.
Oh, my God.
So it would be better for you to juice organically grown fruits and vegetables, especially the dirty dozen. You can Google the dirty dozen, and so things like spinach and kale and blueberries and strawberries and celery, these things are all filled with pesticides, so I always recommend eating those organically. And so V8 juice, I know, is not certified organic, so I'm just careful. That's concentrating potentially things in your body that aren't that good for you.
Okay, great. The other two things, what is your opinion, because I never hear you talk about these. Maybe you do, but I try to listen to you every week. The Beamer and alkaline water.
All right.
Recommend those.
So the Beamer, interesting. For people out there that are listening, the Beamer is a device that a mat you can lay on, and you can actually target parts of your body, and it has these frequencies that go into your body. And I've tried the Beamer. The Beamer's improves circulation. I think the Beamer is great for people that are overweight that aren't going to exercise, all right? People that have diabetes, elevated blood sugar, all right? So for certain people, it's great. For people that, all right, now listen carefully. For people that have low blood sugar, just the opposite, people that have a little bit of anxiety, type A personality, maybe panic disorders or anything like that, I highly recommend staying away from the Beamer, because there is definitely evidence that people with low blood sugar and type A personality, very, almost on the verge of anxiety, that it may trigger some of these attacks, and it could cause your blood sugar to plummet very low, and that can be very, very dangerous. But people that are overweight, people that are diabetics that have just the opposite, high blood sugar, I think it's probably really pretty good. I mean, I've actually talked to the head medical director about this. I actually had a negative reaction to the Beamer, and that's why I know this. My blood sugar runs low, and I got to eat 5 times a day, and I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't make it to the refrigerator. My blood sugar was like 30. And the only thing I had done differently, I was doing the Beamer for a few days. So you got to be very careful. Under a doctor's supervision in the beginning, absolutely. Whether it's your chiropractor,
mainly?
What's that?
For pain, for people that have pain, they say it's a miracle for them.
Right, and you can always try it. I think for pain, certainly, I was trying it for my knee pain. And it had other side effects that I didn't like almost death.
Okay. What about alkaline water?
Alkaline water is fantastic, but not too alkaline, all right? So, an alkaline, you don't want acidic water. So what I always tell people, if you buy water over the counter, buy spring water. Water, it says spring water, Fiji, Evian. You can even test it with litmus paper. It turns the litmus paper green. So that's alkaline water. It has minerals in it. You don't want to drink Dasani, Aquafina, Smart Water, Nestle. These are all reverse osmosis and distilled. No minerals. It's very acidic. So remember, your stomach has acid in it. You put acid on top of acid. So that's not good. But if you go too alkaline, it's just as bad. Too alkaline is going to give you really bad side effects. It's going to make you feel like you have the flu. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's good. It's detoxifying you. Let me tell you, if you feel bad, really bad, that ain't good. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, not too alkaline. You don't want to go 9 and 10 on those, but, if you get close to neutrality, a 7, that's probably pretty good. You can go a little higher than that. And there's a lot of machines out there that people are using that alkalize water and purify the water. And some of them are very, very expensive. I mean, you can go buy, Publix has spring water on sale. Sometimes $10 for 10 cases. It's a lost leader. They do that to get people in. So that's why I don't recommend investing in some of these really expensive alkalizing machines because they can cost quite a bit of money, and you can buy the stuff next to nothing nowadays.
But the spring water, that's not purified. I mean, it could be come out of any spring.
No,
right?
Most spring waters they're going to do some kind of purification. They check it. A friend of mine owns a spring up there in Orange Springs, and he does either ozonation or UV and some other things, but he doesn't distill it or reverse osmosis, so he doesn't remove the minerals. But he does kill potential pathogens that are in it. So absolutely, you got to have some sort of process of killing harmful bacteria.
Okay. You probably don't have any suggestions for frequent urination in the middle of the night, do you? That's not your field.
Well, gosh, men have that problem all the time. And for men it's easy. I mean, for their prostate, they can take certain things like salt palmetto and prostate formulas that help. I don't recommend drinking any fluids 2 hours, 2.5 hours before bedtime.
Right.
Believe it or not, if you have adrenal fatigue, a lot of people will start urinating at night. Sometimes you can try a little bit of pink sea salt and some spring water 2.5 hours before bedtime. All right?
Okay.
But don't drink any kind of thing that has diuresis effects, either green tea or coffee or anything like that at all. So try not drinking anything 2.5 hours before bedtime. Maybe put a little pink sea salt in and see what happens.
Okay. Well, you've been so helpful. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And obviously, if you have urination problems, talk to your physician about that as well. There are other things that can cause that. But a lot of people are just drinking a lot of fluids right before bedtime. All right, phone lines are open, 1-866-977-4820. I'm trying to get my screen up here. Hold on one second. Let's go. Lordy. Nope. I will just pull this down. I'm almost there. Here we go. I will know who's on the line. I think it's going to be... Wow, they got a lot of Steves. I got like 4 Steves on hold. So let's go back to Steve in Tampa. Steve in Tampa, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, a couple observations and a question, Doctor. I have seen the emergency lights on the road as you have with these new LEDs with the police cars and all, and it's almost blinding to me after I go by the situation at night. I mean, I'm still blinking and flashing. Is there something wrong with my eyes, or is it just are the lights just getting too intense from our televisions to everything with these LEDs?
Yep, they need to go back to red lights. They're using the blue lights too. You notice that, okay? And these blue lights...
I almost thought about inventing some sort of glasses for law enforcement, because when those guys get out of their car and standing next to that must be just terrible.
Oh, yeah, well, they got those halogen beams, plus they got the blue lights, and who knows, they could do a study and see law enforcement, are they more prone to have cataracts, more prone to having macular degeneration, more prone to having sleep disorders as well. It'd be interesting. So, you're right along the same line with all of us. It's tough. And let me tell you, you're going down, especially I-75, where they have all that construction, and they have all those reflectors and lights, and then there's a police officer. I mean, no wonder there's so many accidents there, especially, a little old lady, a little old man that has had cataract surgery, only has 20/50 vision to begin with, very dry eye, and then you throw all this glare at them. It's blinding to them. They can't see.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I got 20/20 vision. I'm 40-something years old. What does the guy do that's, later and got some things going on?
Right. They crash right into you. So you got to be very careful. You got to drive defensively, because these people will not see you. When you're driving down the road, you got to drive defensively in that situation. You got to look out for people running into you. Yep.
I got a question about vitamin C real quick. They're trying to say now in a lot of ads that the C we've been taking is not good because it's not really from oranges. I mean, I know it's a complex question, but what should we be taking? What's the best C?
Well, vitamin C is one of those things. Ascorbic acid is synthetically developed in a lab. But every study that I've seen, all right, now vitamin E, you got to have natural vitamin E. But every study I have seen, every good study, let's put it that way, it is exact same ascorbic acid that they make man-made versus, coming from rose petals or whatever. So as far as vitamin C, Linus Pauling used ascorbic acid, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 milligrams a day.
That's what I was thinking, because
Right.
I went back in the research and I didn't see him getting it from oranges. He was just, chemical based. But I do take with bioflavonoids, which is, I guess, necessary as well.
Right. I mean, there's some evidence that the citrus bioflavonoids help it absorb a little bit better. And that's why when you eat an orange, you got to eat the pulpy stuff on that orange. You peel the orange, that white stuff that everybody peels off because it doesn't taste good, eat that, all right? That has all the citrus bioflavonoids in it.
Exactly.
That's the
like
part that's very good for
thing.
you.
Doc, I use the rebounder, and I was sitting in a stoplight the other day, and I saw a guy next to me on a motorcycle. I'm being serious now. You know how they vibrate a lot, those Harleys and stuff? And this is a serious question. I wonder if that's really good for their lymphatic system because of that vibration going on. I'm being serious.
No, it could be. It really could be because, they make those machines. You pay an arm and a leg for it, and you stand on them and you kneel on them.
I'm getting ready to order one. I'm getting ready to order one. It's $500. You step on it.
Right?
I'm getting ready to order it.
You just gave me a reason to buy a Harley.
Well, you've seen them. You've looked over to the side, and they're just vibrating like crazy. And it's like, they all look like they're in good health, and they don't usually look slim and trim, these guys. But I'm just thinking maybe because of that circulation. Again, I'm being serious. That circulation is crazy through the body. That they're getting some health.
No, you got a
car, of course.
Steve, you got a valid point there. I mean, versus a crotch rocket or a bullet bike, those are pretty smooth. That's probably a reason to invest in a Harley. Get the vibration going and improve your circulation.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to clean that lymphatic system out. And I was going to rent one in Daytona about a year ago, and I just, cranked it up and was sitting on it for a second. It was like, I felt it for about 2 hours afterwards. Right. I just felt like I was, something was going on. Another quick thing about the fats, how the chemicals reside in the fat. I wonder if any naturopathic doctor has done like a needle biopsy on anybody in the fat and seen what is actually harboring in our fat, pesticides and so forth.
I'm sure they've done that. That'd be a great study for Dr. John Podlatsky. If he's listening, he could call in because, he's as naturopathic as they get. So Dr. Podlatsky, if you're listening, you can chime in on that. And that's something we'll write down and talk a little bit about maybe next week if I remember that and the T cells.
Just what you need, Doc. Besides the crotch rocket and the Viper, now you gotta have a Harley.
My wife's gonna love you, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, let's do one more thing dangerous, okay? Okay, thank you, Doc. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Steve's been a great caller over the years as well. Let's see. We got a few more people on hold. I think, number 3. Carolyn in St. Pete. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Doctor. I've listened to your show off and on when I lived in the area. Wonderful program. I have a question. I have a new job, but I'm going to be using 2 large monitor screens. And when I was in training, I just felt such fatigue after being on computers all day. What do you advise?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. I've written a lot of articles on this. The computer screen not only causes what we call CVS, computer vision syndrome, but it does cause you to have a lot of eye strain, a lot of eye fatigue. You become worn out at the end of the day. Eye fatigue,
exhausted.
Eye fatigue correlates with overall body fatigue. So number one, how old are you?
60.
All right, so I would have a pair of glasses made for the computer. So that's either a bifocal or a pair of progressive lens made for the computer screen, okay? Not a regular progressive lens because you got to tilt your head back and look through a very narrow area. So you talk to your local optometrist about having a computer pair of glasses made, and then make it out of a material that absorbs the blue light. The best two on the market are Blue Light Shield and Blue Light Defense. And there's a lot of people making blue filtering lenses, but you got to tell them you want to see the demonstration. You want to see the blue laser not go through the lens. Otherwise, they're going to put you in another product on the market that just filters 4 or 5 or 10 to 14%, and you're not going to get the benefits. So I have a lens that I developed. It's called Blue Light Defense. You can learn about it.
I remember that from a few years ago,
right.
I think.
You can go to bluelightdefense.com and you can read up on it. You can always get your prescription, and you can contact Blue Light Defense, and we can manufacture those for you and send them to you. So, or talk to your local doctor and see, do you have something similar? If not, Blue Light Defense lenses. They can get Blue Light Defense lenses. All they got to do is call Blue Light Defense. So you can go in there and say, that's the lens I want. If you don't have an account, call them. They'll set up an account on the phone. But it really will help dramatically reducing eye fatigue and eye strain. So you get a progressive or a bifocal made for the computer out of the material Blue Light Defense. And the second piece of the puzzle is take something that has 3 carotenoids in it. So I obviously pushed the brand I developed called Fortify Focus. It is the only one on the market, the only one in the world right now that is in a fish gelatin with organic olive oil as the delivery system that has lutein zeaxanthin isomers and astaxanthin, 6 milligrams. So the lutein and zeaxanthin helps filter the blue light, all right? It acts like an internal blue filtering screen. And the astaxanthin reduces accommodative computer stress. That's why we call it Fortify Focus, because it improves focusing ability, reduces eye stress, mainly from the computer, the iPad, and the iPhone. But some side effects from this, it minimizes fine lines and wrinkles in the face as well. And you don't need to use a sunscreen if you're out in the sun for an hour or less. So it has some other good benefits.
Well, I was amazed. I've been working this position a month, and I am like exhausted. I've never felt like this. And I just finished walking 4 miles. And, I used to be even more active. So I was amazed at how exhausted I feel at the end of the day on a computer.
Now, the other thing is the 20-20 rule. For every 20 minutes on the computer, take a 20-second break and focus on something outside or down the hallway. So 20 minutes, take a 20-second break. Get your computer glasses, Blue Light Defense material, Fortify Focus, and I bet you call me back after you've done this and you're going to tell me that you're feeling a lot better, you're sleeping better, and you don't have the eye strain that you had.
Do you have a local office over in Clearwater or something like that?
No, I sold all my Clearwater locations. The Lange Eye Institute is the only one, and from Clearwater, it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get there.
Okay. One last question then. Mm-hmm. If I'm going for a local exam, are the chain places any good, or should I go to a private independent?
It all depends on the doctor. I mean, some of the chains are going to have some great optometrists in them, okay?
I get what you're saying. I get it. I'm a case manager for work injuries, so I totally get what you're saying.
And you can always get your prescription. That's yours, so you don't have to get your glasses from them. So you can always get your prescription, get them anywhere you want. Or like I said, if they can't make what you want, then we can take care of you.
I will do that then.
All right. Carolyn?
Appreciate your time and all your knowledge.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Doctor. I so enjoy your show.
Bye-bye. And then, Carolyn, go to Fortify.com and go to the section on focus, Fortify.com, and check it out. You'll be amazed at all the studies that are on there. It's pretty impressive. All right, we got a few other people that were on hold that I was going to take. I'm getting ready to take James now. The phone number for Fortify Vitamins, we're open Monday through Friday, is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. Remember, Fortify.com has a lot of information, a lot of studies, a lot of good stuff on there that you can read about nutrition for overall health, but nutrition for your body. Remember, also, still we got that 30% off. This is the last week, the summer special. Go to Fortify.com, put SUMMER in as the promo code when you check out under promo code, and you're going to get 30% off when you buy the Fortify Super Protein and the Fortify Blue Green Superfood, the combination of the two of those. Remember, that is in the Lange diet plan if you want to lose weight. That is 1 meal a day. You can Google Lange diet and actually print that off and start following it. I have patients, average patient, if they follow the Lange diet plan and lifestyle, the average person loses 6 pounds a week healthily. All right, let's go back to the phones. James, Gainesville, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
Great. Very well. Very well. Thank you. I have one of my questions is that I have he just turned 9. When he was born, had cataracts in both eyes, completely bald, no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. And 2 years previously, I had an operation for a type of sarcoma down in my thigh area. Obviously, numerous radiation treatments, but was never told not to conceive, afterwards.
Right.
But it did happen, and he was born, again, like I said, bald, cataracts, ear problems. Very healthy otherwise. Mm-hmm. Great spunk in the young man. But what they did at a very young age is took the eye lens out, sucked all the cataracts out, and put an artificial eye lens in for him.
Right.
Well, a couple years went by. It had gotten worse, where he then went legally blind in that eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at that point, they suggested that we, do a laser surgery to see if we can get the cataracts to be cleared out.
Right.
It was something astronomical. I think he was 6 at this time. It was like 300 and some odd shots in one sitting.
Right.
She said it started bubbling and doing its thing. We waited. We went back. She said it helped a little, but then the next suggestion was to put an incision behind the eye, suck the cataracts out, and make the other eye go blind to open up, to waken up the eye.
Huh. Interesting.
So we did that, and it worked. His eye started working again, but he's got a prescription now where, one eye's really far-sighted and one eye's very near-sighted.
Right.
Because, like I said, there's cataracts in both eyes, but one was, obviously, the one side was way worse than the other. So my thing now is what I'm trying to do is find an alternate, maybe, way to help increase his vision on the real bad side. I mean, he does his best. And my biggest thing is trying to keep him to wear his glasses. But
Right. So now he's had cataract surgery in both eyes, James?
No, sir, just one.
One eye. Okay, so right now he's got probably what we call anisometropia. That means unequal prescriptions in both eyes. So one eye is probably farsighted and one eye is nearsighted. So there's a big difference between both eyes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is very correct.
And so what you need to do is talk with your doctor about contact lenses, believe it or not. Because what happens in this situation, we see where you only correct one eye because you can't correct the other eye due to the big difference. Because with glasses, it's impossible for him to fuse if there's a big difference between both eyes. However, with contact lenses that rest on the eye, the magnification and minification is almost the same due to the law of optics. The contact rests right on the corneal plane, so there's not this vertex distance between the eye and the back part of your glasses. So contacts, we put 6-month-olds in pediatric contacts that have this problem, that are born with this problem, so their eyes can develop and they can have binocularity and depth perception. So I would find somebody up there that will consider fitting him in contact lenses. Now also, since he's had cataract surgery in one eye, remember we talked about this earlier, those implants do not block the blue light, and he's very young. And so he's going to be exposed to blue light all the time in his life, right? The computer, the iPad, the TV, the LED lighting, the sun. So it's important for him to get the proper carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin especially, into his eye. So he needs to eat things like organic spinach, organic kale, orange bell peppers, goji berries, wild Alaskan salmon, or my 11-year-old daughter, and she's been taking it since she's been 8, takes our Fortify Focus pill. There's other pills out there that have those carotenoids in it. So a supplement that has those carotenoids in it, I think is very beneficial, and I highly recommend it for children that have had cataract surgery and for everybody that's had cataract surgery.
Okay. No, that's great. That's great info. Sometimes you don't ask when you're sitting at the office. Of course, like I said, at a very young age when he had it, I was in shock, due to since I had cancer, and I thought the radiation is why he, come out the way he did, because I have 3 other that came out, full heads of hair and very healthy.
Right.
So.
Well, you're lucky. You're blessed to have a son that is making it, and he's going to do fine. So think positive. And the music's on, so I got to go, brother. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out of here. Have a great day, and God bless you.